1 month. That's all the time this client had before his citizenship application gets denied because he could not prove that he paid child support 5 years ago. This client filed the M400 application, went into the interview, passed all the tests, prepared all the documents, but when the officer saw on the divorce decree that 5 years ago he had a child support, the officer requested that he provide proof that he paid it. And the problem is, he has absolutely no proof, and he was worried sick. That's when he came to us. I'll show you how we solved it. Hi everyone, this is Joseph. I'm the managing partner here at Zahn Associates, where we solve legal problems with creative solutions. And the legal problem in this case is that in order to be a citizen of the United States of America, you must prove that you have a good moral character. And if you didn't pay child support on a divorce judgment, well, that's not a very good thing, and your citizenship application will be denied. And so this client came to us and said, look, I don't have any documents. And then we asked him, point blank, how did you support your son? I mean, the divorce judgment required you to support him by paying $100 a month. It's not that much money. Did you do something else? I know, normally when courts ask you to do something, you don't typically follow the court. But if you could show other things to show how you supported your son, that could work. But what did you do? He said, well, I did a lot. There's healthcare, there's paying for rent, there's I visit him, pay for vacation. Are there proof? Well, no, because everything was done in cash. Okay, did you pull the money out and directly give the cash to your son to pay for all the medical expenses? No. I took the cash, I gave it to my cousin, I gave it to my uncle, I gave it to the ex-wife. There's all these things that I did, and it's so many years. And I don't do it every single month. I do it sometimes I give like $800, sometimes I give like $1,000, but it's definitely more than $100 a month. And I was like, well, can we prove it? Can we have these people come in and write a letter and explain what you did? Yes, they will all support me. And so then we started working on this case. Remember, we had 1 month, and that's 1 month to filing, to respond to the officer's request. Prove to me that you are a good person. And you know how it is. If you have 1 month to file, you need to get all the signatures and all the letters done and drafted within 1 week, right? Because after you get everything drafted, then you send it out. And sometimes people take 1 or 2 weeks before they finally go to the notary office, stamp it, mail it back, and then give it back to us. So we had 1 week to 2 weeks, draft all the letters for everybody, for the relatives, for the coworkers, for the ex-wife, for the child, for himself, for everybody. Get them notarized, took all the pictures from the past 5 years, show that there was good relationship. We looked through school records, we looked through medical records to show his name was on it. And so within this 1 month, we compiled the case, over 200 pages, over 25 documents, full of detailed affidavits, notarized, explaining his situation in detail with pictures and all the supporting documents you can imagine from this person's life. All of it to prove one thing and one thing only, that this was a good man, that this person supported his child, loved his child, and did everything he can to make him successful, and that he deserves to be a U.S. citizen as well. And so when we prepared everything, we coached him on how to respond to the officer, gave it back in case the officer calls him or asks for a second interview, and then that was the end. The case was immediately approved and he got his citizenship. He waited so long for this event and he was so happy he finally got it. It's not so much that it was hard or difficult. I personally didn't think this case was that difficult to do. The thing is, he needed the guidance, the hope, and the courage and the advice. And so during that consultation, we gave that to him. He knew our strategy. He was willing to work with us. We gave him the support. We gave him the letters. We gave him the step-by-step guidance. You need to do this by Wednesday. You need to get this document to us by next Wednesday, and we can prepare everything, review with him. And he had his burden lifted off his shoulder, gave it to us, and we completed it. If you ask me, the trickiest part about this case was really the time constraint, because we only had a few days to work on it. And the guy is super busy, had a business to run, had all these other things to do. He didn't have time to sit in our office to work on this case. So we know that in doing this case, we only have that moment with him, that one consultation or two consultations. So we assembled a team, heard his story, asked all the questions so that we can do our job in preparing everything, review everything, and then give him a clear to-do list, a checklist, a calendar on when he needs to get stuff back to us. And that is his homework. He did his job, then we will do ours to win this case. And that's it for this Notice of Continuance N400 success story. If you have any questions or if you have any problems with your N400 application, feel free to give us a call. We'd love to strategize with you. Take care. Bye-bye.